Welcome back to the Pork and Knuckle Show, and seeing that I did not get shot in the last week, or rather the, 46 minutes that it's been since we filmed the last segment, we might as well continue, and let's see who I'm going to offend this month.
I've made some phone calls about the shooting, by the way. Do continue.
Okay, so let's enjoy these last minutes that we have together.
This is our last segment, by the way.
Yeah, let's see who I'm going to offend this month. Spoiler alert, no one, because this month we are going to talk about one of my personal all-time favorite actors. From Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was famous for his, comedy, actually, we go to someone who is actually famous for actual comedy.
Arnie
Leslie
was famous for being big.
No, for, his movies that are so bad they're actually funny. That was a joke, but don't worry, maybe he'll get it once the episode ends and I can explain it to him even further. We have Leslie Nielsen month, and today I would like to talk to you guys about one of my all-time favorite Leslie Nielsen films, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. What do you think about it?
It's a very funny movie, full of constant gags. I like the Shadow. I really like the Shadow. I think the Shadow is funnier than Dracula himself, which is interesting. It's like a bit like you, to be honest. The village is lovely. I love the village. The storyline gets very, very dragged on in the middle. Dancing is excellent. Naturally, there is no reflection.
Come on, we've just been through the Bollywood things. Why do you keep bringing up the dancing?
It's important.
Yeah, but in this case, the dance sequence in front of the huge mirror is one of my all-time favorite scenes of the film. Of course, it's brilliant.
Speaking of mirrors, the person you're going to offend this month is your mirror. But we'll continue on that later.
Also, I have to say, I loved this movie after the first, I think, 20 seconds, because the first time we see Leslie Nielsen, he's coming out of his coffin and he's rising and doing, he's hitting his head. It's
a really funny movie.
Yeah.
It's long. It is long. And it's a little boring, the storyline.
Isn't it a Mel Brooks film? I don't know, but
I don't know.
I
don't read the credits.
It is a very funny film. What I find most interesting is that the rendition of Renfield, this crazy guy who is in the psychic ward, is almost a carbon copy of the Renfield version that we have in the Jess Franco Dracula version, where this character is actually played by Klaus Kinski. But
is that him? Van Helsing? Is that also in the... Yeah,
no, that's Christopher Lee. That's Van Helsing, yes.
Okay.
And this is Klaus Kinski. It's a different movie. But I love Leslie Nielsen because I love his ability, and this is something I would have loved to see him on set, because the way that he presents his lines, the way he delivers, cracks me up from second one all the way to the end credits. And I cannot imagine how it must have been on set to not just die from laughter every single day when he just needs a look.
It's a nice to make you laugh. Don't expect too much. I think he's exaggerating, but it's a good movie. It drags on a little bit.
But
the middle is quite draggy, but it's okay. It's a nice movie. You will have fun watching it. It's not a scary movie.
No.
I mean, his face is scarier, so...
My face is very scary.
It is. And there's a death warrant already issued against you in India for your behavior towards Bollywood, and yeah.
So maybe let's have the Leslie Nielsen fans not want to murder me as well.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for watching.
And let's see if we can see each other again next week, or whether there will be a coffin sitting next.
I think there might be some more solo shows coming up. Good day.
Good day.
Welcome to the Pork and Knuckles show. This month is Leslie's month, so we're going to have a look at the movie called Airplane. Airplane is a cool movie. This is a movie where there's constant jokes. They're actually quite funny. There's constant gags, and it's just running full of energy. It does not get boring at all throughout the whole movie. It is just a very, very good, fun movie to watch. I think that pretty much sums up the movie. There's a lot of background jokes. I have to say, speaking of background, Foo's standing in the corner there, by the way, hiding, and he thinks it's funny to hide, but he wants me to say this joke. He did not get shot in Bollywood yet, but like I said, Foo, you don't have to stand there with your SpongeBob mug, but you may.
I was gonna do this whole funny bit where I was just coming in and saying, "Oh, did you already start?"
Funny is relative, and in your case, relative only to you, and that's it. We have spoken about this at length about humor and your humor specifically. So, Airplane. What did you think of Airplane?
It's an amazing movie.
Well, like I said, okay, thank you for watching.
No, I love it to bits. I love just my personal favorite joke from this movie is when the guy comes to the counter, wants to buy the ticket, and then he says smoking or non-smoking.
That is so cool.
And he says smoking, and then he gets a ticket that is actually smoking.
Yeah,
or when they enter the airport for the first time, and the two voices over the speakers start fighting over which zone is for what. This is amazing. It's just some fast-paced, great humor. Or when the lady on the plane kind of freaks out, and then Leslie Nielsen hits her, and then the camera pans back and you see all the other people who are prepared with baseball bats also.
I just want to know one thing after you've watched the movie. What do you think the cab fare will be for the guy who entered the taxi? And then the guy just ran out, and I think he's still sitting in the taxi to this day. And I wonder how much the meter will cost, because he had the cheek to come out and put the meter on.
Basically, the same scene happens in Black Sheep as well, and in the sequel, have you seen the Airplane sequel?
There is.
With the spaceship, not with an airplane, but the spaceship.
We need to do an episode on that.
It's not as good. It's still a good movie, but there is this one scene where someone is telling a story that is so long and boring that the person sitting next to them transforms into a skeleton. And this is what I imagine.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen that, yes.
That's what I imagine this cab driver to look like when the people are coming out now. So,
sure.
I'm sorry, should I pay with cash? Oh, I don't think I need to pay
Sorry,
at
we
all.
only accept Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
So
basically, it's a taxi drive that
By the way,
costs
we also accept Bitcoin if you want to sponsor us.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
I would even accept doggy coins, so... No, it was a cool movie. I love the Leslie Nielsen style, but it's more like a Zucker Abrams Zucker production than a Leslie Nielsen
it's
production.
Just constant jokes.
He
it's full
only
of energy.
has a
the whole
smaller
movie
part.
Energy.
Yeah,
and that's cool. I like it because the movie has energy throughout. It doesn't get boring in the middle because there is no middle. It's just joke after joke after joke after joke. The end. And it's brilliant.
And you really have to watch this movie more than once.
You do.
Because there is one joke in the foreground, there is one other joke in the background, and then there is maybe something that you can just find hidden on some
sign or something
or some sign or something. I think there are even jokes, usually the Zucker Abrams Zucker productions do this, they even hide certain jokes in the end credits.
Possibly.
So it's even worth reading those. And yeah, funny movie, awesome movie.
Take care.
That was it for today. See you next week. Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show. And before we start today, I have to ask Mr. Knuckles a question. You pissed in my SpongeBob mug before I went off camera for the last review, right?
No, why?
Oh, so maybe I just have him wrongfully accused.
He's just had his corona vaccine and this is the side effect. I'm joking, it's not.
No,
it's not.
I now run on Windows 11 or something.
Oh,
I don't
God,
know.
and he's got a virus in his head.
Yes, probably. That's the only thing in there.
Oh, God.
Speaking of
Oh,
things being put in heads or not being put in heads, I love Wrongfully Accused. It's one of the more underrated, underknown Leslie Nielsen films, but I think it has so many jokes because it's foremost a Pat Proft production, who was part of the original Zucker Abrams Zucker film crews, mainly as an editor, sometimes as a co-author as well, and he has this same style. I mean, he doesn't have the finesse, not the perfect timing and the perfect amount of jokes. There might get some drier segments in it. I hate the moment when Leslie Nielsen is in the wood and being chased by the train. That's immensely stupid. But this film has some of my favorite Leslie Nielsen jokes. I love the scene...
lightsaber when they're checking the cinema ticket. That is brilliant.
That is also... No, that is also
wow,
brilliant.
That is so cool.
No, I love the scene when he goes out of the sewer and passes the flower shop and all the flowers start dying. And he goes to Limbs Are Us, which is amazing. And I love the scene, the party scene, where he orders the whiskey and he gets the whiskey for Big Man, and he gets such a big glass with such a big umbrella in it. That's this film, right? The party scene where he goes to the lady and says, "Your dog kind of looks funny." And the lady like, "How does my dog look?" "Well, like this." And she's like, that's the wrong side of the dog. And he's like, "Oh, then he's not gonna be very happy about the cracker I just put in."
I think you're getting movies mixed up.
No, that's the movie where he is the violinist.
Yeah, but this
where he is accused of a murder. And where the guy is stabbed in the back for like 27 times, and where there's the immensely long fight scene in this beach house where this guy has actually been being murdered. You haven't done your homework, right?
You're mixing movies.
No, I'm not.
You're mixing movies.
I love this movie.
I love this movie. You're mixing movies.
So then you tell us now what you think this movie is about, and then the audience can decide who...
This movie is about Leslie being wrongfully accused.
Really? And Agent 00 is about...
Oh, and James Bond makes an appearing with them. Naturally. And he saves the Queen, and he plays the violin.
And then he throws the Queen over a table. That's certainly a different movie. No, seriously, I love this movie. It's one of the first movies, actually, I ever seen Leslie Nielsen in, because I think it's like from 99 or 2000. It's one of the later ones that he did. I think I was around 12 when this movie first premiered on television, when it was really the main event of the week. And this was one of the first that I saw, and I imagine laughing my very, very tiny ass off.
If you would have seen the movie, you'd have said something about the key and the rock. So,
of course, yeah, I know what you mean.
This is why I know he's
the plastic rock.
Correct.
Yeah, of course.
So, Key and the Rock. Watch the movie. Tell us what you think of that scene. It's such a good scene. Actually, this whole movie is another really, really good movie. I'm quite impressed with it. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah, we were nice to Leslie Nielsen to select these movies, because we could, of course, have also selected movies like Prom Night or Grizzly or this one Columbo episode that he was in. He is a good dramatic actor, but I still love his comedies more. Thanks for watching.
Ciao. Welcome to the Pork and Knuckles show. So, Leslie Month and Scary Movie 3. He asked me why I chose Scary Movie 3. It was the first scary movie with Leslie in it. Charlie Sheen was in it and Pamela Anderson was in it. I think it's the only movie where those three have starred together. And that is a fact, I think. It is the only movie where Charlie Sheen and Pamela and Leslie have starred together. It's a good movie.
Doesn't make it good though.
It's alright. It's not bad. It's full of gags. Jokes are a bit dead. They go around with this like tape nonsense curse. Okay, fine, they had to have a story, but this story was rubbish. I wish they had a better storyline. I know it's a parody movie, but just a better storyline. Using Ring as a parody all the time, using Scream as a parody. Okay, fine. The phone scene, cool. That was okay. They took the piss. I was expecting it, but it wasn't very good, unfortunately. And it's one of the poor works of Leslie, if I must say. So what did you think?
This movie is one of the biggest disappointments in my entire career of watching films.
Oh God!
And I have to go.
This is a career now to watch films.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to go back in history a little bit. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. I love the first one. The first Scary Movie is one of my all-time favorite comedies because
second one is brilliant
such
as well.
brilliance. Then the second came, which the people who were grown-ups at the time just found coarse and offensive and violent and vulgar. And I agree with this, but I think it was funny for all those reasons. And one day, I even brought the second one to school, and we watched it in a free lesson where one religious teacher was in our class.
Really?
And we put on this movie, and it took until the Hannibal Lecter character stuffing the turkey with his broken hand, making sexual references, that he decided this film were to leave the VHS recorder. But I loved both movies as a child, and then the third
one was
third hit.
The Michael Jackson scene.
I remember the first day, release day. I ran to the store. I got it. I paid €20 for a vanilla DVD release because not only was it Scary Movie, it was a Suka Abrams, Suka production. It had those great talents that I really adored even back then, and then even Leslie Nielsen. Holy Christ. And then I watched the movie and I was close to crying when we had these annoying characters from the 8 Mile parodies. What was
going on there? Why?
Terrible.
Why was that rap scene in there?
That was terrible. That guy could not rap. This guy could not act. It was embarrassing
that's
to
the
watch.
point of the movie as well, kind of, to be terrible.
Yes, but the problem.
So they achieved their point.
But the problem is they were terrible, not in the way that these movies should be terrible. So bad they're good. It was just so bad. It was bad.
See, it was Michael Jackson scene wasn't thought of.
It had like
I didn't like that scene.
Yes, no, it was not good. This is exactly what I'm getting at. It was an insulting joke, and I have nothing against insulting jokes, but they should have a point. And there is a lot of insulting jokes you could do with Michael Jackson, but that was just a throwaway joke.
Something to fill in the time, I guess.
And that's not good. Even Date Movie had better Michael Jackson jokes than this one.
I think on that bombshell we should end this episode.
No, this was an embarrassment.
It was an embarrassment.
One scene that I really loved. I loved the scene in the church when everyone was sitting and then the blind woman comes in and takes a shit. That was hilarious. It did have its moment. I also loved the scene with Leslie Nielsen, actually, where he gave the speech and then the naked Ray started wreaking havoc. That was okay, but even the fourth one was better than the third.
Fourth was better than the third, which says third was really poor.
Which says a lot, but let's never ever speak about the fifth and the sixth.
They don't exist.
think I couldn't even finish 6 because it was such a terrible waste.
I
But
think Scary Movie really went downhill. Second was
with the
okay.
third,
After
with the
this,
third,
it just
it has
went bad.
so many bad jokes. So, especially since it's these people behind the film, the timing was so poor. Oftentimes.
Speaking of, thank you very much for watching.
Yes!
We're end of the month. Take care.
And we'll see you guys again next month with a brand new special. You can guess in the comments what it's gonna be, but we're pretty sure you're not gonna get it.
If he still stays alive after his Bollywood reviews.